Cupid's Revenge 2020 event number 3, the Gauntlet. This is for the RX division. In this workout, athletes will move through 5 different stations. The first station will be the wall ball, where athletes will synchronize at the top of the movement. Athletes must also pass through a full squat at the bottom of the rep. However, it does not need to be synchronized with their partner, only at the top. Once their 2 minutes of wall balls is up, athletes will move on to a 1-minute transition double under period. In this 1 minute, the team will have to accumulate 50 double unders. It does not matter which person does them or if both do them. One athlete may start and finish all 50 if they can. If not, then the second athlete must complete at least 1 rep before a turn goes back to the original athlete. And that athlete must also do 1 rep in order to pass the turn to the other athlete. Upon completion of the 50 double unders, athletes will then rest for the remainder of their minute before they move on to their next movement, which is the toes to bar. This movement will also be synchronized at the top. Athletes will touch their feet to the bar at the same time in order for a rep to count. Athletes' feet must also break the plane at the bottom of the swing for the rep to count. They do not have to be synchronized at the bottom. Upon completion of their 2 minutes of toes to bar, athletes will once again move to a double under transition, where they will complete 50 double unders. Any remainder of the 1 minute can be used as rest before they move on to their legless rope climbs. Athletes may climb in any order with no requirement of either athlete to complete a rope climb. A rope climb, however, must be completed legless, so meaning no foot lockup and no squeezing of the rope with the thighs. You may, however, use your legs once you touch the top of the rig to score your climb complete. You may use your feet to descend the rope. Once a rep is complete, athletes may use their feet to come down. They may touch the ground and go right back up for their next rep, or they may take turns. It's simply up to the team. And the rope height is 14 feet, and the athlete must touch the beam. After your 2 minutes of rope climb are up, we're going to do another 1-minute transition 50 double under period. Let's talk about the double unders. Let's say a team cannot complete 50 double unders in the 1 minute. In order for them to move on to the next movement to accumulate some points, they must finish the 50 double unders. That means if in the 1 minute, let's say they do 30, they still have 20 left, they will still have to complete those 20 before they may move on to the next movement. So that 20 double unders will actually cut into their 2-minute time of the next movement. Therefore, let's say it took them 30 seconds, they'd only have 1.5 minutes left on the next movement. In this case, the next movement will be a 1-armed kettlebell squat snatch. Okay, this will be a full squat snatch. It can also be performed as a power snatch to an overhead squat. The requirement at the bottom of the movement is that the kettlebell is overhead with the hip crease passing below the knee for a full squat. And then the top of the movement, you must lock the hips and knees out fully with the kettlebell still overhead. Much like the rope climb, athletes may take turns with no requirement for either athlete to complete a full rep, and athletes may follow themselves if needed. Once the 2 minutes of the kettlebell squat snatch is complete, athletes will then move on to their final 1-minute transition double under period. Once the final set of double unders is complete, athletes will then move on to their final 2-minute station, which is the synchronized deadlift. This movement will also be synchronized at the top, where the full lockout of the knees, hips, and full upright chest of each athlete. Athletes may return the bar to the ground either by dropping the bar or carrying it down to the ground for a touch and go rep. If a touch and go rep is used, athletes are not permitted to bounce the bar off the ground. And if the athletes decide to drop from the top, the bar must come to a rest before they can lift the bar off the ground. So no catching it off the bounce. And that final movement concludes the workout. Good luck.